Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. On last month's episode of this little news program, I asked you guys to give me suggestions for a title, for a name for this segment. You guys came in with a lot of suggestions, and I put them out there for you to vote on. And the winner is Tark Talks. Yes, the one that just last month I said was a little too on the nose for my tastes was the one you guys went with. Alliteration wins the day. So welcome to the first ever named episode of Tark Talks. Today we're gonna go over the news of June, and like usual, a lot has happened. It didn't seem like a lot was happening at first, but certainly a lot did happen. Let's start off with the fun stuff here and talk about E3 and my thoughts on what we've seen. So, E3 happened. We've seen some Tales of Arise, and yeah, it looks alright. Some of the character models look a bit too done before, and the plot synopsis borrows a lot from what was done in Tales of Symphonia with the dual worlds vying for power, but with the new social power dynamics they're adding in, I think it could be pretty interesting. Graphically, it also looks really good, like a real PlayStation 4 game. A shame that the PS5 will be out soon after this game is released, and this game will already start looking dated, but hey, an upgrade is an upgrade. We also got a little teaser for a game called Ghostwire Tokyo, and it was hosted by the cutest girl in all of E3. This reveal gave me feelings similar to the second year that we heard about Death Stranding. It was in that weird point where you look at something and think, damn, that looks cool as hell and really intriguing, but is this actually a game yet, or nah? We also got more Astral Chain and Daemon X Machina. Both are looking solid as hell, especially Astral Chain. Somehow this girl here has a small butt, but one that pops like a big butt. Not sure how that works, but I bet it's gonna sell more units. Overall, it's shaping up to be a cool Platinum Games hack and slash. Hopefully all the flash and tackle of the trailer isn't too misleading, as Platinum has had their fair share of misses in the past. We got a pretty sick reveal for No More Heroes 3, and I feel like we all kind of seen this one coming, but the confirmation is still nice. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order looks pretty cool. Many of you know I'm a bit of a Star Wars junkie, always have been, and probably always will be. The state of Star Wars games over the past 10 years has been pretty damn pathetic. This looks like a step in the right direction at the very least. But Donkey once stating that it's EA, they'll find a way to mess it up, still rings in my head, so consider me cautiously optimistic. We got news of a new Contra, and it looks like hot garbage, but we also got a Contra collection, and that looks pretty alright. Cyberpunk 77 was shown off again, and I won't lie. I am sure Cyberpunk is gonna be the coolest thing for a number of years, and the whole Keanu Reeves thing is pretty badass too, but this isn't gonna be a day one purchase for me. I will wait a year or two until all the expansions are out, and they make a Witcher 3 style complete edition. Then I'll probably get the full thing at a discount. We got more Doom Eternal, which looks like Doom 2016 with more focus on traversal. I probably will get that one day one, but I doubt I'll make a video on it. I really did like the last one. Breath of the Wild 2 will probably be more of Breath of the Wild 1, which I'm down for. I really liked the game, but I really do hope they add classic style dungeons to this one. We also got a giant dump of Final Fantasy VII news, and the game is looking cool as hell, dare I say better than the original. Granted, it is no longer turn-based, and that automatically makes it worse for some people, but I am very much down with what I've seen, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up the full game in 2029 when every part is finally released. Square Enix's show overall though, I don't know, they didn't reveal a Quiet Man 2, so 0 out of 10. We did get news of a Final Fantasy VIII remaster and the Crystal Chronicles remaster coming to the West. So I'm pretty excited for Crystal Chronicles at the very least. Loved that game growing up but never did finish it, and I might just take the opportunity this time around. Phantasy Star Online 2 is finally coming west following years of an unfulfilled promise, and lo and behold, there's a Panzer Dragoon remake on the horizon. Talk about shocking on that one. Elden Ring is the next From Software title, and it's a collaborative effort with George R.R. Martin of all people. It's From Software, so of course I'm gonna buy it. I am very intrigued. Hopefully they find a way to finally kill the frame pacing issues in their games before it comes out though, because Sekiro was really rough in that department. The tactics RPG based on Dark Crystal is also looking rather promising, but at the moment I haven't seen enough to say that it's going to be much more than basic in terms of its gameplay. And of course the Mana Collection is coming to the West. I'll be waiting for the physical version. Devolver Digital put on the most entertaining show and the only one worth going back to rewatch in its entirety at a later date. Overall, pretty damn lackluster, but still just a little more exciting at points than years prior. This, I think, was mainly because there were far fewer leaks, and the leaks we did get came much later than usual. As a result, a lot of this was just more surprising. In the end, though, it was filled with a bunch of shit that I just don't need to talk about, as is expected. Unlike when you go to a music festival where they try to cater the acts to people interested in only a small handful of genres, E3 smashes everything together. It wouldn't make sense for anybody to find the majority of the show interesting. On my personal rating scale this year, Nintendo was a solid progressive metal, and Ubisoft and Bethesda were lousy country music. In smaller news this month, Bloodstained release. I paid for this game years ago, and it's nice to see it finally in and looking so shiny. I haven't got the chance to play it yet though, but apparently it isn't shit. At least it wasn't until the Nintendo Switch version came out, which is apparently facing a litany of issues at the moment. If you're looking to buy the game and you own multiple platforms, I know the portability seems attractive, and it is, but do a bit of research before sealing the deal on which version you're going to get. Or at least hold off a bit and see if the version you want becomes more worth the purchase and the play. Hyperkin announced an N64 clone console is in the works. It was at E3, but it was behind closed doors. I won't lie, despite having some good games, I find the N64 really unattractive to go back to. It's hard to use the controller, it's got poor frame rates, suboptimal resolutions, and games that largely just haven't aged as well as the PlayStations. Of course, a clone console can't fix all of this, but it might fix enough for me to boot up the system once again. For games in July I'm looking forward to, I'm gonna start with Senran Kagura Peach Ball. Not exactly expecting much from this one, but I'll definitely be checking it out. Fire Emblem Three Houses and Dragon Quest Builders 2 as well. My fiance will be the one hogging the system to play those, but I'm sure there's a lot of you watching who need the reminder that those are coming out. Personally, I'm not finding July too crazy for things that I'm interested in, so I'm probably gonna use the month to catch up on other things and continue prepping October videos, and probably irresponsibly playing a lot of Mario Maker 2 instead of doing work. For channels to check out this month, I want to plug a rather larger channel that covers horror movies in a sort of essay form. Ryan Hollinger. Definitely appreciate this guy's perspective as he makes me and my love and perspective on horror feel just a little bit more normal. And though I've plugged her before, if you haven't got the memo yet, check out Pelvic Gaming. If your itch for JRPG content, past and present, can never be satiated, give this girl a check. You will not be disappointed. Then follow her on Twitter and learn to love her for her blunt appreciation of anime boys and Legend of Zelda BL. Now, moving right back into the June news. There was a massive discourse around Tifa's breasts and Square's internal ethics committee. Honestly, guys, I just don't fucking care about this story at all. Look, Tifa looks great. I doubt they downsized her breasts, and the new uniform looks awesome. Even if they are downsized, who fucking cares? I highly doubt anything nefarious is at play here. As for an internal ethics committee, I don't see a reason to worry about this right now. Half the time, all these committees do is make sure you don't call somebody in a game something like Fanny, where in other cultures that name can be taken to mean something less than desirable. Until you see signs of a fire, I'd keep your wimpy little garden hoses in the shed. And the last story of the day is not about how I changed my clothes between shots, but about Nutaku's big new investment. There's a cat hair in my mustache. So just a few days ago, Nutaku announced that it is going to be investing $5 million in LGBTQ+ games for their website. Now, I'm sure a lot of people look at this investment and point the finger with claims like, get woke, go broke, but I don't really sense very much JK Rowling here, so I'm not going to do that with this one. If anything, it seems to me that Nutaku noticed a few huge gaping holes, and they're just willing to pay people to fill it for them while they watch. And I don't really want to word that in any other way. Yes, we've had porn games for a long time, but let's face it, for a lot of the porn games that focus on gay relationships, they're done ironically. And I know that my audience is made up of a fair amount of diverse people. Yes, 96% of you are men according to my metrics, but not all men who identify the same way, or not all straight men. Sure, these LGBTQ+ games aren't going to do anything for me, and I'm not likely to ever play any, but if it pulls more people into this sort of thing and gives people the same gratification that most of us straight men and women have been getting for a long time, I'm all for it. I guess what I'm saying is, gay that shit up, bro. Now I know this investment is going to get a lot of political ire from some people, but maybe just this time, let it go. It's gonna be a fun adventure to just watch where all this goes and see who gets pulled into the fold. And that's where I'm going to leave Tark Talks for June. As always, folks, a huge thanks for showing up and supporting the content, and thanks for listening to what I have to say, hopefully without getting too angry about it. Thanks for watching.